Welcome to This Explainer. You know, right now, the massive global push toward electric vehicle fleets is slamming face first into an invisible brick wall, our power grid. But as we're going to explore today, some incredibly innovative mobile charging solutions are stepping up to bridge this gap in ways that honestly, nobody quite expected. If you're managing a fleet, or really if you're just fascinated by the logistics of the green transition, you already know this space is moving at absolute light speed.
It's literally the core paradox of the whole EV revolution. You got the vehicles, but wait, you don't have the juice. Fleets across the globe are mandated and totally ready to go electric, but the local power grids simply aren't equipped to handle them yet. Think about it. You can buy all the zero-emission trucks you want, but if you can't actually plug them in at your depot, well, they're really just highly expensive paperweights. So what on earth happens when your ambition just completely outpaces your local utilities infrastructure? Section 1. The EV grid bottleneck. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the macro problem keeping logistics executives up at night today. It's a massive clash of timelines. Traditional grid-tied charging, that requires millions in upfront capital. Plus, operators are stuck waiting, sometimes 1 to 3 agonizing years, just for basic utility grid upgrades or transformer installations. But contrast that with the flexible alternative, charging as a service. This model requires zero upfront costs and deploys incredibly fast. We are talking days or weeks instead of years. Section 2. Charging as a service. So, to bypass those crazy multi-year utility delays, this whole new turnkey approach has emerged called charging as a service, or CaaS. Think of it kind of like a software subscription, but for heavy EV infrastructure. You get full access to the charging capability without actually needing to buy, install, or manage the equipment yourself. Instead of draining your capital budgets to buy the hardware, your fleet just pays a predictable fee. That's usually per kilowatt hour or a flat monthly rate, and the CaaS provider handles absolutely everything else. It completely removes the operational burden from your plate. This basically means you are outsourcing the entire headache. A typical SaaS package wraps everything up into one neat, fully managed service. That includes all the initial site planning, the hardware, and the actual energy supply itself. And what's really fantastic here is that providers guarantee the maintenance and operations too. You have companies like SparkCharge ensuring up to 99.9% uptime. You essentially hand over the entire burden of powering your fleet to the experts. Section 3. Off-grid and mobile tech. But wait, here's the multi-million-dollar question. What if you literally don't even have enough grid power at your depot to begin with? Sadly, it's a reality a lot of fleet managers are facing right now. Well, providers like LCharge and SparkCharge are offering completely off-grid mobile units. These are powered by modular batteries or renewable natural gas, which means you can deploy fast, clean energy with absolutely zero reliance on local utility hookups. You just bypass the grid entirely. Section 4. Real-world mobile deployments. Taking this from theory to reality, we're seeing some serious institutional backing right now. Take Massachusetts, for instance. Their Clean Energy Center is actively running a $38 million pilot program to roll out mobile charging specifically for medium and heavy-duty fleets. Meanwhile, on the consumer side, AAA is actively testing equipment like the Blink Generation 2 to deliver emergency roadside charges to stranded EVs. In their early tests, just a 30-minute mobile charge delivered roughly 13.7 miles of recovery range. That's more than enough to get a stranded driver safely to a permanent charging station. But honestly, the most striking case study comes from Torrance, California. A facility run by Global Industrial REIT desperately needed to charge incoming Class 8 electric trucks to hit their strict sustainability commitments. But they were completely paralyzed by utility delays. They literally couldn't wait years for the grid to catch up. They needed power immediately. To solve this, they found a seriously innovative workaround. They brought in Capstone's trailer-mounted C200S microturbine. This is a totally off-grid setup fueled by compressed natural gas, which allowed them to simultaneously charge 2 massive heavy-duty trucks right there in their parking lot, completely independent of the local power lines. This piece of tech is an absolute 180-kilowatt powerhouse. And get this, because it's an air-bearing microturbine, it doesn't even need lubricants or coolants, which massively slashes their maintenance needs. Over a 6-month rental period, this unit operated with over 99% uptime. It completely eliminated their charging downtime and kept their zero-emission rollout exactly on schedule. Jim Krause, the president of Capstone Engineered Solutions, really hit the nail on the head here. He points out that these mobile rentals act as the ultimate bridge technology. They provide clean power on demand, avoiding the massive emissions of traditional dirty diesel generators, all while you just sit back and wait for the permanent utility grid to finally catch up to your needs.
Section 5. The billion-dollar charging market. Because these incredible micro solutions are solving such massive grid bottlenecks, the global market for portable fast chargers is absolutely exploding right now. It is no longer just a niche stopgap, it's a vital industry sector. Spurred by desperate logistics fleets and highly flexible CAS models, it is surging at an incredible compound annual growth rate of 26.9%. That is exactly the kind of growth rate that makes investors and infrastructure planners literally stop in their tracks and pay attention.
Financially, the trajectory here is just staggering. To put that growth into perspective, the market went from $0.94 billion in 2025 to $1.19 billion today in 2026, and it is projected to rocket past $3 billion by the time we hit 2030. That growth is being fueled heavily by the rapid electrification of last-mile delivery fleets and this soaring demand for mobile charging as a service.
All this explosive growth and the sheer innovation we've explored today leaves us with a fascinating final thought to chew on. As mobile charging as a service becomes faster, more cost-effective, and even more resilient, will commercial fleets eventually outgrow their need for the traditional electrical grid altogether? I mean, if you can generate clean, rapid power right in your own lot on demand, the future of EV infrastructure might not be tied to a pole at all. It might just be mounted on a trailer. Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on this space. It's moving fast.